Hello and welcome in, Magic Learners. Much love. Travis here bringing you another match with the Negative Life combo deck. And I'll keep this hand. Missing a few things, but I'm not going to throw it back. If you haven't seen the deck tech, make sure to check that out. For the rest of you, yeah, what is this? MTG of the day, number 20-something. Really, yeah, having a lot of fun. The routine is working well. Gonna go ahead and Thoughtseize. Let's see what we can take. Okay, let's take the Rancor. There's gonna be two experiment ones coming down, but they're small if the opponent doesn't have anything with them. Rancor is probably gonna push the most damage. Gorklan Rampager is gonna be annoying, but I'm gonna go ahead and take that. Yeah, getting into a really good routine of putting up tons of content, high quality, I hope you agree, having a lot of fun. Quickly want to thank all of you who are here. So many of you followed me when I was previously with the major site. Excuse me. There was a lot of things I liked about that, but one of the things I didn't like about it was checking the comments on my content. That would really stress me out because there were a lot of criticisms from strangers on my play, on my ideas, on my personality, and that killed a lot of the fun, really. However, we're drawing a lot of lands. We're gonna need to pick things up a little bit. However, the reason why was, for the most part, just because there's so many eyes. A lot of people were not there for me, but everyone on this channel, for the most part, is here for me. It's really amazing that we've come this far, and there has only, so far, there has only been, Goblin Guide is a lot of damage. So far, there has only been one troll. There's been one total troll. That's crazy on this channel. There's also been one person leaving, like, critical playthrough comments. That's not really trolling. It's not really the purpose of this channel, because it's not meant to be perfect, and I'm also offering. We've literally only drawn lands this game, by the way. It's not meant to be perfect, and it's also about other things. But whatever, that's fine. But yeah, only one troll. It's amazing. So thank you all so much for being awesome. Trying my best to be awesome for you all. And then which leads me into my daily insight, daily discussion, daily engagement question for you, something to think about, is the importance of being surrounded by the right people, specifically in groups or teams. So what I mean by this is, they say that we're a composite of the 5 people. Death Shadow. Interesting. They say we're composites of the 5 people we spend the most time around. Oh, we're not going to be able to pay life on these. Maybe I should have cracked them earlier. Oh, Urborg will work for that. And, yeah, I mean, who we are really affects us, and specifically, interesting. Maybe the opponent has a lightning bolt. Interesting. This is pretty good for us. I think the opponent had a misunderstanding of how this is going to work, because the next hit, there's no first strike over there, as we learned yesterday or in the last video. If the opponent hits us, it's going to put us deep into the negatives, and we may be able to just fling Death Shadow straight at the opponent. I'm going to play the Death Shadow because the opponent knows about it. There's not really a reason to hold it. I'm also going to play the Simian Spirit Guide because it gives us a blocker. Yeah, so my question is, alright, well, when we're talking about surrounding ourselves with people, a good way to do that is through our living situation, but also the groups we frequent, the teams we frequent. So for me, I've gotten a lot of benefit of being part of online groups, Magic for Good, Deck Building Wizardry, the Magic Mastermind. That's interesting. Right of consumption. So we could kind of take all this, but then we would die if the opponent has Lightning Bolt. I don't want that to happen. If we take even 3 damage, we'll be fine. So if the opponent bolts us, we're taking 3, 6, 9, and we're not dying. Magic for Good groups. A lot of groups have been helping me. 2121. So I invite all of you to get in there if you're not already in there. Magic for Good's the open group. Really the best Magic forum on the whole web. We've got Flaying Up as well. Gonna just go ahead and attack. And my question is, what are you making an effort to be in groups of people? That was too easy. Are you making an effort to be around groups of people who are like-minded, who are giving you extra motivation, who are giving you extra dedication, who are giving you a sense of community, a sense of being a part of something bigger, online and offline? And if not, how can you do that? You don't have to answer that in the comments. So for me, for example, this year I've done a great job of getting involved in online groups, but due to my travel lifestyle, pyroclasms maybe, of the last 2 years, I said I've moved cities 8 times. I jump into groups when I get to places, but it takes a while to get going, and then I've already moved by then. So something that I can definitely work on is jumping into more in-person groups and being more stable in my real life, although the internet groups have really helped me because I can still be a part of those wherever I go. So that's just the daily exercise. I like to do this. It makes the channel more for me and makes it more helpful, I think. If you only want to see Magic, I'm sorry, but I'm not that sorry. Anyways, back to the Magic. The problem with Pyroclasm is it's not great against Experiment 1. Generally, it's not great against Curd Ape, but it does stop a lot of things. So I think I'm going to get it in there, cutting 1 Rite of Consumption. Keeping in the Slaughter Pact, we don't need the Scout's Warning. And then I love playing 61 cards just as a minor troll. And then I'm not... Oh, well, it's too late now, but Timely Reinforcements would maybe be good. Alright, this hand is interesting. It is pretty awkward, but it has a good amount of defense. It has a good amount of defense, so hopefully that's enough. Hopefully Pyroclasm is good. Yeah, so here's the problem is it's not great against Curd Ape. And yeah, but I mean, we knew that coming in. Gonna go ahead and use Temple here. Looking for a land. There's the 3rd Clasm. Clasms have not been the greatest. We may just go down in Tribal Flames, or in Flames rather, this game. Reminds me of match 2 versus Death and Taxes, where I kept a 1-lander and then things did not get better from there. So, see what the opponent's 2-drops are. Burning Tree Emissary. The good news is that Clasm, Flinthoof Boar is not great against that either. There's a land. So what we really need is to get to 4 mana so that we can play double Pyroclasm. So the best way to do that is to... There's 2 ways to do it. We can Spoils into Simian Pentad Prism. That's a risky approach because we're taking at least 7 and that is going to give us a good chance of just dying on the next turn. However, if we Simian for Pentad Prism, we're relying on top decking a land next turn. So either way is pretty bad. So I'm going to go ahead and gamble for a Marsh Flats and hope that we just flip it real quick and don't take a lot of life. But again, the game might end right here, and this is one of the fun things about the deck is not only is it hard to play, but it's very luck based, and to me luck is a fun component of the game. I like to gamble. Marsh Flats. See what happens. Alright, that worked out really well. Not dead. Go get a Swamp. I would like to Thoughtseize. Yeah, we're gonna get a Swamp because it's the least damage and we're gonna have double red anyway. So Swamp, Exile. Pentad Prism. Next turn we can play double Pyroclasm. And hopefully that will be enough to control things. Temple of Silence did help us scry, which is important, although I would have liked to have played Thoughtseize by now. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just hope we don't die. And the opponent basically, there's Goblin Guide, drops everything. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See if we revealed Ad Nauseam, which is not the ideal draw. Another Curd Ape. Alright, well, black, red, Pyroclasm, and Pyroclasm, and we're leaving with the opponent with just one card. So that worked out pretty well. I don't necessarily feel like we're going to win just because we have so little left, but we have a decent chance. And the opponent has played nothing. That's great. So I could play Thoughtseize, which I think I'm going to do. This could result in us dying, getting lightning bolted. But I feel like, yeah, we might take a Gorklan Rampager. Yeah, that didn't work out very well. But at least we have a 12 Death Shadow, so the opponent probably needs to draw the card Lightning Bolt to kill us. And we died. That's unfortunate. So if I had not played the Thoughtseize, then we probably would have won. But that doesn't mean it's a mistake. It just means it didn't go as planned. So the Clasms worked out well. I still like the idea of Slaughter Pact. I'm just gonna run it back. Well, yeah, again, timely. I should spend more time thinking about sideboarding. Alright, I do like this hand. Going to keep it. This is another hand that is going to be dependent on drawing some mana. Man, that was too bad. Last game was really close. I'm getting a basic swamp to conserve our life total. The opponent's trying to get us to 0 anyways. I'm going to take the Goblin Guide just because it's well, I could take the Goblin Guide. It's going to do the most damage to us, but the effect of drawing us extra cards could be actually really helpful. So maybe I'm going to take the Burning Tree Emissary. Yeah, I'm going to take the Burning Tree Emissary for that reason. Of hoping the Goblin Guide gives us extra cards. Temple of Silence is going to facilitate that as well. Could have paid extra life with the Marsh Flats to start off. Chose not to. I'm starting to get some tension, some anxiety. I want to win for y'all, but I also want the series to be not all about winning. There's a Pentad Prism, which is probably pretty good. Really just need to hit a land or two. There's a land, which is great because we're going to draw it off Goblin Guide. It's a basic plains, it's pain-free, and we're going to be able to get down Phyrexian Unlife and Pentad Prism and Death Shadow. We've seen the opponent's hand. They don't have Destructive Revelry, or they didn't earlier, so our odds are decent. See what the opponent has drawn. Bolts us. Okay, so far nothing. Ooh, Rancor is scary. Rancor is scary. Draw our plains. We do have Angel's Grace as a failsafe. Pyroclasm is a really good draw. So I like Pyroclasm here. Well, there's two main options. We can play Death Shadow, and we have a 5/5. And I would hate to lose it in combat to a Gorklan Rampager. Or we could just Clasm right now. That's probably a safer approach. I'm gonna Clasm. It's a tough call. The Pyroclasms have been pretty good, obviously. They've been not super game winning, but they've been good. Okay. Now's when it gets tense and it's all about magic. Alright, there's Destructive Revelry, which puts us to 6. However, we didn't really need that, and we have Phyrexian Unlife coming down. So on this turn, we could either play Death Shadow and get a big body down, or we could play Phyrexian Unlife, 1, 2, 3, which I'm going to do because it protects us. The opponent already used 1 Destructive Revelry, and the next turn we have the mana to Ad Nauseam combo. If the opponent taps down, we know that we're safe. And if they don't, we're still probably safe. There's a Flinthoof Boar. If they give it haste, then the coast is going to be clear. Okay, it looks like we're going to win this match. Rancor is their last card that we knew about. So this is going to put us to 1. So correct me if I'm wrong, but we can Ad Nauseam. I believe we have all of our Simians left. And I didn't sideboard out Manamorphose or Fling or Messenger's Speed, so this should do it. Ad Nauseam. However, we can lose if the very last card of our deck is something really important. The reason why is we are using all of our mana, and basically Manamorphose is going to kill us if it's our last card. So it's possible I should have even waited a turn, played Death Shadow with Angel's Grace up, because if our last card turns out to be Manamorphose, then we're coming back tomorrow to play again. But it has to be our last card exactly. No, even then we can win with Pentad Prism. Okay, so we're safe. Yeah, we're gonna be safe. Manamorphose, and we hit the Manamorphose. I'm gonna go down to 1 card. But yeah, we have Pentad Prism anyways. Okay. Don't want to repeat this. Find all our Simians. Make a mana. Make a mana. Rite of Consumption, Flang, or Messenger's Speed. I'm going to use Messenger's Speed, the reason being we haven't done that yet. And I want to. Manamorphose, cast this. No cards left. Get black, black. Or it's going to be, we're going to draw our last card. Play Death Shadow. I'm going to play 2 Death Shadows. Finish with a Messenger Speed. Or we can just Rite of Consumption for the drain. Black, black. Here's 1 Death Shadow. Enchanted creature has haste and trample. I'm going to do that because we haven't done it yet. And then I'm going to cast another Death Shadow just so we have a blocker. And attack, yeah. It's a 77-77 because we're at negative 64. 13 minus negative 64 is plus 77. Wow. Crazy match, crazy games. We played 3 matches, so it's likely we're going to move on to play something else. Again, if you haven't seen the deck tech, check it out. And then Daily Thought is about purpose of group and community. What groups are you a member of? Are you going to become a member of more groups, online or offline, teams, and so on? You can share in the comments. You don't have to. And it's a really fun deck. Thanks to all our patrons for supporting this channel. If you watch all the way to the end and you're not doing it yet, this channel is really scraping by, and it's I offer a lot in return as well, so you should check it out below. If you really get a lot out of this, you can get a lot more as well and contribute to the channel. Continuing at a much less stressful rate, but again, it's not for everyone, and there's rewards. It's not just me begging. And for everyone else who made it all the way to the end, thank you, much love, Magic Learners, and we'll be back tomorrow with something brand spanking new, or something I had previously played, but something different. So, yep, let's get to it.